morning. It's about 2 degrees. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I think this is probably the coldest it can get. It was at least 0 last night, if not more. And with the wind, now you can't hear the wind, I don't think, and you can't see the tent flapping because I'm in quite a sheltered area, but I can hear the sea. The sea sounds gnarly. With the wind chill, it's often quite a few degrees colder. So here I am with my trusty hot water bottle that I made this morning. Yeah, not the best night's sleep. I wasn't actually too cold last night. I made a fire. Somebody gave me a big rock that I put on top. I'm not sure how much that made a difference. I mean, I was cooking on the fire first, so maybe I just needed to leave the rock on for longer. Maybe I'll try that tonight. But it almost feels like there's not enough room on top of the wood stove to have a rock and a pan cooking dinner or boiling water for my hot water bottle. So it's almost like the fire is there for heat or it's there for cooking. I have a big gas canister that I use for cooking as well. So I'm not really sure how much of a difference that made. I also had to get up several times in the night to go for a pee. So leaving the comfort of the sleeping bag, I also had my 2 cats scrapping all night, fighting for prime position of warmth. So I got woken up several times. And somebody kindly gave me a mattress, an inflatable mattress, maybe 2 months ago. And almost immediately it got a puncture, presumably from the little juniper spikes that get into everything. So they gave me a pump, and okay, I've just been blowing that up every night, which isn't a big deal. Doesn't take too long. And the mattress then lasts me maybe 5-6 hours before my arse is on the floor. But I now think the mattress has got another hole because about 2 hours into my sleep when I woke up, my arse was on the floor. So this is a little bit of a problem now. Now I could order a new one, but then that might take 10-12 days to arrive. Possibly longer. I mean, I think it was in December, we didn't have a boat for 3 weeks. As a result, not only did we not have any sort of fresh vegetables or anything, but anything obviously that we might have ordered didn't arrive. So yes, I'm not sure what to do about the bed situation. Obviously sleep is extremely important anyway, but when it's this cold, now I'm sitting on the floor now and the floor's covered in blankets, but it's cold. It's very, very cold. So yeah, let's see how I get on this week. Sometimes I do wonder what I'm doing, you know. Sometimes I think back to my life in London, and maybe I'm looking back with rose-tinted glasses, and sometimes I think, God, was I happier there? Was that the better choice? Funny, some contrasts, you know, when you're sitting there reflecting. As I was drinking my Greek coffee from this honey jar, I thought back to London and when my mates used to rope me into going to these expensive gastro hipster pubs, you know, where your burger comes out on a slate and your drink comes in a jam jar. And then here I am drinking out of a jar. But not for any, not for any hipster reason, just because there is nowhere you can buy a drinking vessel here. So you have to basically repurpose something. So jam jars or honey jars it is. I mean, for sure, life here isn't easy to live in. It's absolutely not easy at all. I'm not a very fit person. I'm not a very organised person, which you have to be in a small space like this. You have to be organised in terms of the weather, in terms of carrying stuff, building stuff, repairing stuff. So I'd like to think this experience is at least making me maybe more resilient with the cold, and it's kind of toughening me up in some regards, I hope. It's really difficult to see a situation, isn't it, when you're in it? And of course, you know, there's things about this lifestyle that are fantastic. The fact that I can put a tent here on this land, I haven't got to answer to anybody, I haven't got to pay any money, is great, because it's something that in England you've got no chance of doing. I think it's England, or maybe it's the UK, but I remember reading once that something like 65% of the land is owned by the Ministry of Defence. You know, we don't really have this right of way, a right to roam that exists in Scotland, parts of Scotland and Norway, that's actually built into the constitution. You know, everybody owns something. You know, it's hard enough when I lived in the camper van, but I remember reading something a while ago where they're trying to pass this new legislation. I don't know, maybe they've passed it now, to make sleeping in a vehicle a criminal offence, not a civil offence, even a criminal offence. So not only does this target travellers, but also gypsies and even homeless people. So if you're homeless and you're caught sleeping on someone's doorstep, say, or let's face it, most of the land in Britain is, in England, is private, you can get a criminal record. So being able to live here and being able to have more of a kind of simple existence, I guess, you know, is something I feel quite blessed for, because there's really very few places in Europe that you can do that. And of course, the island's beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. And when I was younger, I always dreamed of living close to the sea. And the sea is about a 5-minute, if that, walk from me. So this is great. Now, that's not to say I don't miss deciduous forest, because, oh my gosh, I really do miss the smell of mushrooms and the feel and smell of moss and all the greenery, dew, fog. Yeah, that woodland smell. And of course, a lot of my inspiration came from the deciduous forest. Oh my gosh, I can hear the goats attacking. Hold on, hold on. Oh, that's the second time today. In fact, I've got this kitchen unit bought and had delivered rather than build one, because I needed something quite quickly, because I was so sick of the goats getting to my food supplies and losing I don't know how many euros worth of food, but a lot, and just trashing everything. So I bought this unit, and it's got these kind of 2 fabric cupboardy things with mesh at the back, so it has some ventilation. And fairly recently, the goats must have, yeah, kind of gone in with their horns and destroyed the back of it. So I've got a lot of food in the tent now. So it's actually a little bit cluttered. And I looked out there because I was worried they were going to go for the other cupboard with their horns. But I don't know, maybe I had some vegetables in there that day. And that's why they targeted that particular cupboard. And yeah, the thing is with the goats, it would be wonderful to be able to grow food here. You know, grow your own food. But the it's predominantly, this island is sand. You know, it's like a desert climate really. So while it's maybe 2 degrees now, in summer it can be 43, 45 degrees. And with so much sand and the winds and the goats and the salt in the air and the lack of any mains water, it's not easy to grow food. It's not impossible, it absolutely could be done. And this would be a great project for somebody to do, but it would be a lot of work. So yeah, so as I said, there's a lot of good things about being here, but I do miss, sometimes I do get up and I see the sea and I see the sand and I see the rock, and I do miss maybe more mountainous terrain or forests. Oh, it's so typical with humans, isn't it? Like the grass is greener, and how quickly we can take things for granted, and how quickly we adapt, which is one of our greatest strengths and weaknesses, I would say. Hello, hello. This is maybe what being in a tent for too long does to your brain. Yeah, so I was going to do some art this morning. That was the plan. Uh, but the thing is, my fingers are so cold. They kind of hurt. I'm not sure I can even stay in the tent all day today. Like I said, I haven't really got loads of wood, and I ration the wood. And it rained a bit this morning, so I don't think it's the best time to go out gathering wood. I'm going to try and do that tomorrow, and maybe I'll take a video then and show you. If not, then another time. Anyway, let me know if you enjoyed the video, if you found it interesting, if you're cold where you are, how you keep warm. And I'm going to leave it for there and maybe go and get a hot chocolate. So take care, have a good day, and see you soon.